Caine is the too-good hero of the amazing digital circus, and he actually tries to help people, but it doesn't always work out. Now this may sound crazy, but let me explain. But Caine himself does not know what draws people to this digital circus. In the first teasers of the series, Caine seemed like the main madman of the series, who lured people into this world and mindlessly tormented them with his games. A vivid example of this is when he threw knives at the main character of the series. However, the pilot episode paints a very different picture, where Caine is the hero of the story and actually tries to help people. But Caine changed after the appearance of Pomni, so radical that it's hard to imagine. Because you just imagine, no matter how many characters appeared and replaced each other, Caine was never able to continue expanding the world for some reason. Here again, we are quickly introduced to the characters, and this time their more cynical true selves are revealed, and soon we are shown from the Sweet Kingdom. But what do the characters from the Sweet Kingdom eat, if they themselves consist of sweet? Because our characters from the digital circus don't really need to eat. Were the participants who abstracted the closest to leaving the circus? I think it's half yes and half no, because Caine has already set the alarm so that the participants do not go out into the void. The more time passes, the more I notice that he protects the circus. But Caine does not really like to talk to the characters for a long time, because it is noticeable that he often sits in a restaurant with his assistant Bubble. When Pomni appeared in the circus, Caine, with his kindness, decided to show her what he had created to distract her from her thoughts. Caine sees that Pomni is hyperactive because not many manage to get out into the void, and if I'm not mistaken, no one at all, except Pomni. Therefore, Caine tries to look after Pomni because it is noticeable from Caine's behavior that he even enters her room. Although for a moment, he does not enter the room with the other characters. From this, it is clear how Kaufmo was in his room and abstracted because Caine did not enter their room to check their health. I wonder if they will show us whether Pomni is still thinking about leaving, because as you know, she will be very busy with adventures now. Do I think that the more worlds Caine creates, the more powerful he becomes? Let's go directly to the exit from the door. The characters are people trapped in digital bodies controlled by artificial intelligence. But over time, we see these people lose their self-awareness and become digital abstracts in the circus. The characters are never actually supposed to sleep, so it would appear that they are plugged into the virtual game. Because of this, the time is infinite, and there is never a real need to rest in the digital circus, which is great when you are temporarily connected to the network to play a game. But it is not something the human mind should ever experience during an ongoing game. As such, Caine seems to know that people shouldn't be trapped here for so long, but he doesn't seem to have the ability to help them get out. Before the 6 people began to manifest, there may have been people who came to play for short periods, leaving of their own accord. But at some point, something changed, and Caine realized that he had a long-term responsibility to somehow try to help people who were dragged into the game. To do this, Caine focuses on simulating human life while maintaining the circus theme in its video game mechanics. The characters say they don't need sleep, but it's nice to have some free time to basically pretend to sleep and be away from everyone in the circus. This is essentially when they can have their own thoughts and process what happened to them that day and enter a state of as little thought as possible before the next day begins. Kaufmo's room was covered in writings about trying to find a way out, and he didn't seem to be using his free time to relax at all, instead focusing on his problems of being trapped here. Since he didn't seem to need to rest, he thought he could just focus on his mission indefinitely. But instead of his body giving up, his mind crashed and he became an abstract monster. Caine doesn't take advantage of the toys as it seems in the teasers, but instead, the missions he sends them on are likely to be beyond the actual games his program was intended for. I'm sure his behavior will get crazier and crazier as time goes on, as he always hints that he might be confused. But for now, it seems like he's really trying to do his best to help these people get the happiest experiences they can in the forms their admiration. The bigger question about all of this is how exactly did these 6 people get trapped here? As we have already discussed, the character's mind seems to be trapped in the game. One possibility is that they do not need sleep because their physical bodies are always at rest in whatever machinery they are connected to. But another possibility is that the headset that Pomni remembers was scanning her brain to insert her into the digital game, and her consciousness was transferred to the circus from her body, which could be another reason why Pomni was so scared when she saw a VR headset at the end of the utility room corridor. But how does Caine try to help people? If he wanted to help people, Wouldn't he show them some escape into this digital world? Well, keep watching because I need to explain one more concept that will tie this whole theory together. I believe the reason Pomni and the others scanned themselves into this digital world was to try to escape their own dying physical world and try to have a new life in this joyous, blissful video game. But here's why. After promising Ragatha that he won't abandon her, Pomni finds the exit door and decides to take it. She gets lost in a maze of 1980s office buildings that look like utility rooms connected to each other. However, something about this particular office terrifies Pomni, and it's not just a VR headset. But let me know what some of your theories are down in the comments, and I might make it into a video. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video.